Hey, good morning and welcome, everybody. This is Catherine Perry, and I am your host for the Daily One Command. Now, this week, we are focusing on what we need to release because this week is we're coming into the full moon on April 16th. Now, if you are listening to this in the future, don't think, oh no, this is all new moon stuff. No. We're using the moon as a metaphor for our story and how we are going to be approaching releasing and really tuning into our true desires. And I want to talk about desire a little bit today, and maybe you'll hear about it in a way you haven't heard before. But that's what we're doing. And today, what we're going to be doing is we're talking about releasing resistance and any resistance that we might have uh, or inner boundaries that limit our abundance. So I want you to just think about what it is that you in your life right now that you really want. Just think about it. Think about where you are now and where you want to be. And in that space between the two is very often filled with desire. And desire is different than intention. And it's important to know what your desire is, but very often in a lot of the new age manifesting consciousness world, it focuses on that desire. It says, oh, think about what you want, really get into that feeling. And that is important. You've got to know what you want so that you can go towards it, right? But what happens is maybe there's is some resistance. Maybe there is some fear, and then some memories start coming up when you start getting a vision for it. And you go, I want to do this. Well, the reason that is, it's not informing you and telling you why you can't do it. But what's happened is you stimulated your memory center. And the way our brain is set up is to be a continuing feedback loop for our survival. So if we were hunting in a particular territory, it would be good to remember that as we move forward, we've got to watch out for lions and tigers and bears, and remember that poisonous berry, and to remember, hey, we went through all these trials, but we learned and we were strong, right? And we tend to circulate back on that because that's where a lot of our resources are. But also, all of that was set up. And if you think about it, it really did encourage an adventure out into the outer realms. It was, hey, here's what we need to be safe here and now. And so our brain is trained that way by biological design. And yet there's some outliers who said, I don't know, I just keep getting this sense that there's something over that hill. There's something over that hill that's calling me. And then there was two camps of people that maybe they said, yeah, there's something there. And they would tell stories and they'd ask each other, well, what do you think's over there? Oh, I don't know. Maybe there's giants and maybe there's fantastical things. Maybe there's people like us. I don't know. I mean, today we have that same kind of discussion about space, don't we? But what is it that's over that hill? I see that light. And then at night, I see the ridge of the mountains, and the moon glow is on it. And my heart is just filled because I just dream of the day that I can step out, and someday I'm going to go join that. I'm going to go find that adventure, and I'm going to make my way to that mountain. But in the meantime, there are lions and tigers and bears, and food to hunt and babies to tend to, and battles to fight, right? And so what happens is that desire becomes an assumption that will never be there, but it's kind of a placeholder. And it's almost like a really terrible consolation prize for not fulfilling your vision. And a lot of people get stuck there. Is it good to have desires? Yes, that's our motivator. That is the signal from somewhere within us saying there's something more available to you, there's something more possible. But where we get in trouble is our programming. And it takes two. We have to have our mind and our heart. Now, Neville Goddard, you're going to be hearing me talk about him a lot, but he says that there's only one reality, and consciousness is reality, and our reality determines our consciousness. Okay. So, whatever we believe to be true is how consciousness is going to show up for us. That's how we're going to see it. In fact, because of the way that we think and believe and our parameters that have been set up, and we go into that very limited beta brain thinking, other possibilities, the help, the bridge to that other place will literally be invisible. And even if you've made your way to the bridge, there could be invisible forces holding you back from ever crossing the bridge. Because then you might remember the stories about the trolls, or that one friend one time who went over the bridge and the terrible things that happened to that person, like an urban legend. Don't go out beyond this point because there might be dragons. And so we come back home and we let our desires comfort us. I got to tell you something. Fear has a voice. Our fears and our doubts lie to us. It seduces us into giving up in order to be safe. But there's this other voice that won't shut up. And it keeps bumping up against that fear. And it goes, wait, let me finish. Let me tell you how. And so we've got to connect to this other way of being. Well, continuing on with Neville Goddard talks about in consciousness that consciousness is everything, right? And our reality is consciousness. Consciousness is our reality. And consciousness divides into two rivers. The thought, which is our mind, and that's the masculine, and in our heart, in our emotions. And then and there in our emotions is all of our experiences, right? There's our feeling state, and then there's our beliefs. And what happens is the mind impresses upon the heart, the masculine impresses upon the feminine, its desire. It says, this is what I want. This is what needs to be, that let's go. We're going to the mountain. And what's supposed to happen is our heart and our mind together, have a conversation through our imagination. But if our imagination is untrained, then what will happen is it will collapse into memories. And it takes time to train your imagination to get the thing that you want. So what can we use in the meantime to bridge these two rivers? It's our intention. And when we have an intention, your intention is greater than your desire. And it's greater even than, hey, let's do this. We got to do this. I want this. It becomes a driver. And everything starts lining up. And when you align to your intention and go, yep, this is happening, I don't know how it's happening, the universe says, is this what we're doing? And consciousness shifts and it starts aligning, and all the feedback you start getting starts aligning to the intention, not the unmet, unfulfilled desire. Do you get that? Because when we're in this unfulfilled desire, the wanting, the wishing, the universe and the world is reflecting that. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Hey, what would it be like to live in a beautiful home with a beautiful garden? Oh, yeah, that would be really great if you had $1 million. But I guess you'll go back to your little apartment. But wait, well, some people can do that, but you didn't get the education, or there's the climate now, or gosh, those evil people have bought up all the houses and the prices are driven up, or hey, you made mistakes in the past and too bad. Too bad, right? And that's your fear lying and seducing, telling you stories to keep you close. Okay, that's all that's happening. And so, what can we do? We are going to set a really clear intention. But in order to move and act upon that, we've got to release any resistance that we have to learning new things, resistance to being uncomfortable, resistance to failing, right? We just have this idea that we're just supposed to just go out and do things perfectly and never fail. But the thing is, the only way we learn is by failing and stumbling a bit and looking around, right? And going, okay, all right, getting up, dusting yourself off. And as you line back to that intention, that is what's going to get you back up and try that next time. Because then you'll be focusing on the process, not the unmet desire. Okay. And then if you're just in your mind power, you go, well, I'm just going to willpower my way through this. I'm just going to like focus it. I'm going to drive it to there. Well, your mind is really powerful. And the thing is, if you have a conditioned mind and says, I'm just going to go after money. I'm going to go get the money. Well, the companies that just go after money, they don't have the same levels of profit, believe it or not. They don't have the same experiences for the employees, and their customers really don't benefit the way that a company that focuses on the customers. And we're going to be customer centric, and we're going to focus on delivering the best value, right? Those are the companies that thrive and survive and last hundreds of years. Okay. That's what builds a legacy. And there is a legacy of greatness within you that's waiting to be fulfilled. So let's go into this today. Good morning, everybody who joined. Good morning, Miss Jody. Hello, Miss Lauren. And hey, if you have not yet done this, in the comments, you'll see at the very bottom of my description, you'll see the link to like the StreamYard app. That gives me permission to see your comments. So be sure and like the StreamYard app so I know who's here. I want to see your comments. They really matter to me. Well, good morning. Good morning. All right. We're using moon imagery this week. As I said before, we're leading up into the full moon on the 16th. And astrologically, at this time of year, at the time of this recording, it's going to be a Libra moon, which is love and beauty and balance. And if you've ever been in a beautiful garden at night, there's nothing like it. And that moon is shining on it. Here's the lens that we're looking at these ideas through. This is what we're going to command through. And these are some really beautiful full moon affirmations. Hello, Miss Rumi. The first is, I am connected to the endless abundance of the universe, free of limits and boundaries. I fully and freely embrace potential and possibilities, surrendering my resistance to allow the universe to give me what I need. I now trust my intuition and listen to the wisdom of the universe. When we make affirmations, there's a part of us that goes, yeah, that. I want that. But then there's this other part that goes, yeah, right. Dream on, dreamer. Dream on, dreamer. But what if that idea, that feeling, that as you look out like our ancestors did and said, what is beyond that mountain range? What is there that's calling me? And there's one that broke away. In fact, there's one that was the one that was the outlier. And that one said, I'm going to go there. And everybody's like, no, don't go. You can't go. What's wrong with you? You know, we need you. You're our best hunter. You're our best fisherman. What are we going to do without you? You're the one. And said, I'm sorry, I'll be back as soon as I can, but I got to go. I got to find out. And that intention to know and to find out became the driving force, just to have that experience. Now, there's something you want that you really need. I mean, it's a real need. It's financial. If it doesn't get handled, hey, but also maybe you have a financial goal where you go, hey, once I hit this goal, after looking at what my income is and what I need to retire or what I need to in order to live the kind of life that I want or to have savings or whatever, you've looked at the numbers and this is it. This is what I want. And if you're just stuck in desire and wishing, it won't do it. But if you go, I've got to go, I've got to find out. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I've got to go find out. I want to know what that experience is. What if instead of desiring and wanting and wishing for that money, wishing and hoping for that solution to maybe save you, rescue you, that you said, I just want to find out what that experience is about of being in a rich, abundant state of being. I want to find out what it's like to own my own house. I just want to go through this process of learning how to buy a house. I want to know what's there for my own peace of mind. And then on the hero's journey, what do? They bring it back. They go out and they go on their journey. They have all their learning, and then they have their adventures and meet the, all the dragons and fight things and come up against their own mortality. But then they win. They win the prize and they bring it back home. And then there are some that only move because of loss and tragedy, and they're forced to move, and and every step of the way, as they're moving forward in just pure survival, their longing stays not in front of them but behind them. Someday I'll come home, and they're never really fully in the place. They're just trying to get through the next step so they can get home. And both of those say, yeah, I'll go back home. I want to come back. But there's the two ways of being. So what is the state of being that you want to move forward to have these new experiences? We want to have this open, curious, and there is a way. I may not know the way, but I know that there's something in me that I can know and trust that'll make it possible. How about that? So think about what you want. Think about what it is that you're wanting to have in your life. How do you want to experience it? Now, the question I always ask people, and this is important when we're doing the 6 steps, is what state of being do you want to receive the fulfillment of your command? What state of being? Do you want to be joyful? Do you want to feel accomplished? Do you want to be excited? Yeah, because what'll happen is that's how you raise yourself into that vibration of meeting it, because what you want, need, or desire is already there. It doesn't have to be created. But the reason you can't see it is because of your beta brain, ordinary trained way of thinking. And even if you could see it, you've got the imaginary limits set inside. So, how do you want to receive it? And the reason I ask that is because that is the state that you want to be as you're thinking about it. I have got a special worksheet that I want to, that teaches you exactly how to create from that greater state of being. And it's called Creating from Love. And if you want to get that worksheet, send me a message. Just send a message in my direct message in the DMs, and I will send it to you. Okay, that's all you need to do. Just send me a direct message, and it's called Creating from Love. And you can, once you learn how to really connect to that greater state of being that you want to receive, then you'll be able to have a whole new lens to look through and to create. And then what you create will come to you through that field that you've created of love or joy, excitement, or gratitude, appreciation. Okay. So think about what it is that you want. That's the lens. Okay. And holding that idea, we are going to be doing commands about releasing any resistance, any inner limitations or boundaries that you set on yourself. Okay, wonderful. You'd love to have a worksheet? Great. Send me a private message. Okay. And that's how I can send it to you. Fantastic. All right. So, who's ready to create? All right. So, the one command that we're going to be doing, this one's going to be kind of free flowing, but it has to do with those original. I'm releasing my resistance and these inner boundaries. And I'm trusting myself and I'm trusting the universe. Okay. But we want to have that as our intention. We want the intention to be your goal. Like, hey, I know you've got an income level. I know you're wanting to have a certain experience. You've got some big goals. You may need your own home. You're ready for a car. You're ready for clarity on a career. There's different things that you're ready for. And you feel that potential and you see it. And I don't want you to just be sitting around with that crappy consolation prize called longing and desire. All right. Good morning, Mr. David. Good morning, Miss Remy. Good morning, Jody. Good morning, Lauren. Good morning, Emily. I'm not sure who's here. Hello, Miss Cindy. So happy to see you today. Hey, if you hit like, that's another way for me to see who's here. If you're especially on your Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, you can just put a comment right there. Hey, Cindy, absolutely. She wants to stop hiding. And just notice what you want to stop hiding from. This is actually a capacity issue, and I talk about that in the 3 forces you must master to manifest your desire. And we talk about capacity, and we're going to be hearing me talk a lot more about capacity in the future. Okay, fantastic. All right, so you know your intention of what you want to create. So think about why you want to stop hiding. I want to stop hiding so I can. Okay. I want to stop hiding so I can. That moves you off of that emotion and making yourself wrong and beating yourself up. I think it is an incredible skill to be able to hide in a world that we have today. All right. Fantastic. Just take a breath. We're going to go through the 6 steps of the one command. We're just going to let go now. Let go of the thing that you said you wanted. Just let it go. Let go of wanting it. Let go of needing it. And just imagine that you're like a tree and you have long roots. And all that energy of that longing and that wish unfulfilled, all of the shame, all of the frustration, all of those feelings of unworthiness, I want you to send all of those feelings down, down, down into the earth. And just in your mind's eye or in your feeling body, just feel that energy starting to move and release and let go and go right down into the earth. And as we're connecting to the beautiful, creative life force energy of the earth, an amazing thing happens. The earth breaks it down, dissolves it, releases the energy. And now that clean energy mixed with creative life force energy is starting to come up, 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 back up into your body, up into your feet, into your knees, into your ankles and your hips. And as that's happening, now I want to invite you to bring your attention to your heart as you're aligning to what you want. Now, we could say aligning to intention and the power that comes from that. And why you want it. And in this space, there are all of our memories and our emotions and our beliefs. And I wonder how in this space, everything that you've ever experienced up until now, everything that you've ever believed, all of your memories, all support this next step. I wonder what would dissolve away. I wonder what would flip. I wonder what would reposition itself. I wonder what new understanding or awareness would arrive in this moment. And I don't know. I don't know. I only know that you are a master creator. And the master in me greets the master in you. And in this space between knowing and not knowing, let there only be love. Breathe into that. And I'm going to invite you to just feel that energy start to expand all through your body. And it's already aligning to and connecting with that beautiful earth energy. And now I'm going to shift your awareness to your connection to source. And it may very much seem like a pole of light that's coming right down through the top of your head. And this is your connection to source and spiritual life force energy. And this spiritual life force energy is connecting to your true essence. Breathe into that. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And now that creative life force energy from the earth, your own energy and the spiritual life force energy are starting to mix and mingle and blend. And it's just filling up your body. And already you may start noticing that some aches and pains and your body may want to adjust to allow this greater energy. Yeah, lift up your chest slightly. Keep your eyes closed. Lift your chin up slightly. And with your eyes closed, roll your eyes up as you picture, visualize, or imagine that you are traveling up a pole of light. And the higher you go, the faster you go, and soon you find yourself surrounded by the beautiful, velvety, black void in space. And in the distance, you may see a teeny pinprick of light, a little teeny beacon. Head towards that right now, and instantly you break through the darkness into the light of pure, open potential. And in this space, with your eyes rolled up, we're going to state the one command. I'm going to make some for you, and then you're going to add your own. I'll make space for you. I don't know how I fully and freely release my resistance, my fear, and my limiting beliefs that are keeping me from acting upon my intention. I only know that I am free to move forward now. I am free to prosper. I am free to hear what the universe has to say to me. And I fully and freely allow my intuition to give me correct guidance. I don't know how. I only know it is so now, and I am fulfilled. Let your eyes relax a moment. We're just going to expand your consciousness. Just let all that go. Let that idea expand out into an idea even greater that serves more good in its fulfillment. And bringing you back to now, something's risen up in you that it may be a consideration. So I'm going to make a space for what command you want to make right now. I don't know how and state what you want. I only know it is so now, and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I have beliefs and thoughts and feelings that support my success and the fulfillment of my command. I only know it is so now, and I am fulfilled. And now just let all that go. We're going to expand that out to an idea even greater that serves more good in its fulfillment. It taps you into that inner motivation, your own unique motivation that keeps you moving toward and not away, that keeps you willing to go through the experiences and the learning and to prove yourself worthy, not to the universe or any powers that be, but to yourself. That absolutely it is right, and it is your divine right to have what you have gone after. And now, as you're starting to come back down into your body and start receiving in gratitude, in appreciation, in joy, in delight. Oh, that feeling of pride. Oh, of a race well run. I did it. Yes. Just start receiving in that state of being. And as this greater intelligence starts bringing into you everything that you want, need, or desire, and is aligning to your intention and the power within you, and starts meeting the master within you, and it says, yes, I'm at your command. Everything else within you starts unwinding, releasing, letting go. And then there's something starting to rise up and rewind and integrate and activating. Just for a moment, think about your command, but also more importantly, think about what it is that you want or need right now. You need the money. Very often we go, I need the money so that I'm secure, So I wonder how the security in you can create the money. Just be present. What do you know about your goal or your desire outcome now that maybe you didn't know before? And what was stopping you from acting on your impulses, on acting on your intuition? And what will you do now? What can you do now that you couldn't do before? As soon as we're done, be sure and make some notes. I've got the worksheets for the one command. And remember, if you want to get the creating from love worksheet, be sure and send me a private message. Fantastic. And then what do we always say? What do we say? You know what we say. That the seventh step is inspired action. And so be ready for that idea or that inspiration or opportunity, and you just go for it. Now, I'm going to leave this up for a bit, but it's a Rumi poem, and I love Rumi. And Rumi was an ecstatic poet, and his idea was like, I just love the beloved, which was what he called the universe. And the beloved loves me. And together we're just having this just delightful experience of seeing and experiencing and learning all the ways that we can know each other. And Rumi brought things down to really human terms. And this is Rumi's love poem to the night. I am your moon and your moonlight too. I am your flower garden and your water too. I have come all this way, eager for you. Without shoes or shawl, I want you to laugh, to kill your worries, to love you, and to nourish you. I've included that poem in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was beneficial. If it was, please be sure and let me know. Be sure and like this video, and be sure and comment. Wherever you are, be sure and leave a little comment to let me know what your aha was, or if you have a question. And if you're watching this by replay, you're going to hit hashtag, you're going to write hashtag, then replay and your comment. Okay. And I just want you to know that I witness that greatness in you. I witness that strength and that power. And the master in me greets the master in you. And I love you. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye-bye.